Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly Connect. So in today's video, we will learn how to create campaign monitor subscriber from Eventbrite order. So now as we know that Eventbrite is an event management solutions and ticketing platform, and here whenever a new order is placed in your Eventbrite account, then automatically with the received details of the attendee, you wish to create him or her as a subscriber in your campaign monitor account. So now how we will be performing this integration? For that we will be using Pabbly Connect, where our trigger application will be Eventbrite and our action application will be campaign monitor. So to learn how I set up this automation, follow me through the screen. In this video we will learn that how you can create campaign monitor subscriber from Eventbrite order. So here, whenever a new order is placed in my Eventbrite account, then automatically with the attendee details, I wish to add him as a subscriber over here in campaign monitor. So to learn how we will be setting up this automation, for that we will sign into our Pabbly Connect account. But if you are a new user, you can click on the sign up for free button, and at the time of account creation, you will get 100 tasks for free. So as an existing user, I will click on sign in. This is the all applications page by Pabbly, and to create a new workflow, we need to go to Pabbly Connect and click on access now to reach our dashboard. So this is my dashboard, and to create a new workflow, I will click on this create workflow button on my right hand side. And now in this dialog box appearing, I need to give my workflow a name, and I have named it as create campaign monitor subscriber from Eventbrite order, and I will click on create. So as I did that, now I have arrived on a very important window which consists of trigger and action. So basically trigger and action are those two important principles or concepts of Pabbly Connect on which this entire integration and automation will depend. Trigger says when this happens, action says do this. Basically action is the response of your trigger application, and in a workflow you can only have one trigger application but multiple action applications. So moving to my trigger window, as my use case suggests, that is to create campaign monitor subscriber from Eventbrite order. So in my trigger window, I will be selecting the trigger application as Eventbrite. So I will search over here, and here it is. Now I have selected my trigger application. Moving to the trigger event, that will be new order. That means this trigger will start working whenever a new order will be placed for a tickets to an event. So I'm selecting it. As I have selected the trigger application and the trigger event, now I need to build a connection between Pabbly Connect and Eventbrite. So I will click on connect, and I've already opened Eventbrite in one of my tabs. So I'm clicking on connect. Now if you have an existing connection, you can go with the same, or you can simply add a new connection. So to add a new connection, I will click on connect with Eventbrite. And now over here, I will click on allow as it is a safe connection. So here you can see that it is connected successfully and it shows connected. Moving on to organization, so it has automatically captured it. Moving on to events. So in this drop down, you will find the events that you would have created in your Eventbrite account. So over here, I will be selecting Pabbly course as the event. So I'm clicking on it. So now moving on to save and send test request. If I will click on this button, then it will start waiting for a response. That means now whenever a new order will be placed in my Eventbrite account, then automatically the details will be captured over here. So I'm clicking on this, and here you can see that it is waiting for response. And now I will take you to my Eventbrite account. Over here, this is the event that I have created by the name of Pabbly course, and the event date is October 28 and the day is Saturday. And now over here, to reserve a spot for general admission, the fees is free. So I will click on this reserve a spot button. And now over here in this checkout page, I have filled in the contact information. The first name goes by test and the last name is user. And over here, I have mentioned a dummy email address that goes by test@pabblytudes.com. And now I will click on register. So over here, you can see that our order ID is given and it says thank you for your order. And a ticket is also sent to the mail ID which we have mentioned. So now I will go back to my Pabbly Connect account to see the captured response. And over here in the response received, you can see a webhook ID, a user ID, along with the endpoint URL, and the configure action was order placed, and an API URL. So over here, if you would have noticed that there is no detail of attendee given to us. So now how will I find this? So this order ID will help us to get the attendee details. So now moving back to Pabbly Connect, you can find the order ID over here in API URL. So now over here to fetch this order ID, I will click on this action step, and over here I will be using text formatter by Pabbly, and here it is. So this text formatter will help us to split the text. So I'm selecting split text as my action event. And now I will click on connect. So now in text to split, I will map it from the response received. So here is the API URL and I have mapped it. Moving to separator, that will be a slash. And now going to the segment index, that will be second to last. And now I will click on save and send test request to get the order ID. And now over here in response received, you can see the order ID is now separated from the API URL. So now I will click on this add action step. And to fetch the details of this attendee over here, I will again search for Eventbrite, and here it is. I will go to action event and search for order ID. So I will select it as get attendee by order ID as the action event. So I'm selecting it. And now I will click on connect. So now over here, I will go with the existing connection because I've already used Eventbrite in this workflow before as well. So I will click on save. And now over here in this order ID, I will map it from the response that we have received from text formatter. Here is the order ID and I have mapped it. So now why I have used mapping over here? Because I want whenever a new order is placed in my Eventbrite account, then automatically this old ID should be replaced by the new order ID. So now I will click on the save and send test request to see the response. So now here in the response received, you can see the details. Scrolling down, you can see the details of the attendee. So the first name goes by test, last name goes by user, and the mail ID as test@pabblytudes.com. So that means we have got the attendee details. So moving further, I will click on this add action step. And as my objective was to add the attendee as a subscriber in Campaign Monitor. So over here, I will search for Campaign Monitor and here it is. And now in the action event, I will be selecting it as add subscriber. So as I have selected my action application over here as Campaign Monitor and the action event as add subscriber, now I need to establish a connection between Campaign Monitor and Pabbly Connect. So I will simply click on connect. Now if you have an existing connection, you can go with the same, or you can simply add a new connection. So now to add the new connection name, you need to mention the API key. So it says enter your API key and leave password field blank. So where will I find this API key? For that, I will go back to my Campaign Monitor account, and over here in this profile, I will go to account settings, and now I will go to API keys. So over here is the API key. As soon as I will click on show API key, over here, I need to enter the password and the API key will be visible. So I will close this and go back to Pabbly Connect. And as I have an existing connection, so I will go with the same and click on save. So here you can see that Campaign Monitor is successfully connected with Pabbly Connect. Moving to client account. So my client account is by the name of Pabbly. So it is automatically captured over here. So here moving on to list ID. So you can see that in my Campaign Monitor account, these are the lists that I have already created before. So going back to Pabbly Connect, in this drop down, you can see the name of all those lists which I have created in my Campaign Monitor account. So I want to add this attendee in the event list. So over here, I'm selecting the event as the list and moving to email ID and name. So for both of these fields, I will use mapping. So in the email address section, I will map the data from previous steps. So over here, I will search for email and here it is. And now moving to the name part, I will again map it from the response received. So I will search over here for name and here's the name. Now over here moving to resubscribe and restart autoresponders. So as of now in my use case, I don't want to resubscribe and restart the subscription based autoresponders. So I will be selecting both of these fields as false. And now I will click on save and send test request to see the captured response. So here we have received the response and this is a positive response. And now I will take you to my Campaign Monitor account to show you this attendee as a subscriber. So over here in this list option, I will go to event and over here you can see that the attendee by the name of test user and the email test@pabblytudes.com is successfully subscribed in Campaign Monitor. So this means the integration between Eventbrite and Campaign Monitor is successful. So now whenever a new order will be placed in Eventbrite, then automatically with the details of the attendee, he will be added as a subscriber in Campaign Monitor. Not just these applications, you can integrate a lot more applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you have any doubts regarding Pabbly, reach us at support@pabbly.com, and if you have any queries, you can visit us at forum.pabbly.com. If you have any pricing related query, you can visit this link. So if you like this video, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and do not forget to like, share and subscribe our channel.